Dear students, now I am going to discuss a new topic, that is electric dipole in SMS বৈদ্যুতিক দ্বিমেরু. Question has come from this topic in 2015. Uh, electric dipole. Electric dipole means two equal and opposite point charges, say plus q and minus q, separated by a very small distance, form an electric dipole. Okay, for example, hydrochloric acid means that molecule, H2O water molecule, carbon dioxide molecule. I think you have got this concept in chemistry. For example, HCl. What happens in HCl? Hydrogen having less electronegativity and chlorine having more electronegativity. That means you can say that chlorine, the nucleus of chlorine, have more what? Positive charge, because more number of protons are there. That's why there is a Coulomb attractive force between the nucleus of chlorine and electron cloud, or you can say center of negative charges will be little bit attracted by, that means electrons are little bit attracted by chlorine. That means only electron of hydrogen is little bit shifted towards the chlorine. That's why it becomes slightly negative. Okay, that means normally in neutral atom, what happen? Number of proton and number of electrons are exactly same, but what happen? Though chlorine is neutral, when they will form a molecule of hydrochloric acid, then what will happen? The electron will be little bit shifted towards the chlorine. That's why number of electrons looks like that it's more than the number of protons. That's why it becomes slightly negatively charged. That's why slightly means delta Q minus. Again, there is a lesser number of electrons, that means protons, that means only proton, that is inside the nucleus of hydrogen. That's why it will become the slightly positive delta Q plus, and it will form a permanent electric dipole. Actually, electric dipoles are of two types, means temporary and permanent. In next chapter, that means chapter 2, we'll discuss about it in details. Okay, that means electric dipole means two equal and opposite point charges. Here H delta plus and chlorine delta minus, both are what? Equal charges. That means one is plus q, another is minus q, both having the same magnitude, just sign are different. They will form a electric dipole. Little bit distance is there, separation between the two charges is very small. Next topic is electric dipole moment. In SMS it is বৈদ্যুতিক দ্বিমেরু ভ্রামক. Electric dipole moment means, suppose this diagram you see, all of you see, suppose this is minus q and this is plus q, and separation between the two charges is twice a. Okay, and then electric dipole moment, it is the product of what? Magnitude of either charge. That means magnitude of minus q is q, magnitude of plus q is also q. Okay, magnitude of either charge, that means q, and separation twice a. If you take the product, then we will get what? Electric dipole moment. That means if it is represented by, that means electric dipole moment is represented by p, then the value will be p is equal to q into twice a. But electric dipole moment is a vector quantity, and its direction is from minus q to plus q by convention. Okay, and if you take a unit vector p cap from minus q to plus q direction, then in vector form we can write p vector equal to q into twice a bar, or twice a. If you take the magnitude only, then what will happen? To make the direction, to give a direction, we have to multiply a unit vector p cap. That means the concept is very simple. Electric dipole means it is the product of magnitude of either charge of electric dipole, that means q, and separation between the two charges. Okay, and SI unit is very simple. From the formula you can find out, for q means coulomb into dash into distance means meter. This is the SI unit. Now sometimes question may arise, 1 mark question or 2 mark question, point dipole or ideal dipole. What do you mean by point dipole or ideal dipole? It is what? if in an electric dipole the magnitude of the charge is almost infinite, that means very very large, okay, near about infinity, and separation between the two charges is very small, tends to zero, that means minus q and plus q comes closer and closer, but don't become what, zero, that means twice don't become zero but tends to zero, then the dipole is said to be point dipole or ideal dipole. This is the concept of what, electric dipole. Okay, now sometimes question may arise, though the sum of the two charges, that means minus q and plus q is zero, then why electric field intensity is not zero? Okay, actually if you check, if you add vectorially the contribution of minus q charge and plus q charge, that means their electric field intensity, that means whatever electric field intensity minus q charge will produce, suppose E1, and whatever electricity plus q will produce, suppose E2, and if you find out the electric field intensity at different points, then we will get that their resultant will never become zero. Okay, in certain cases, if the point where we want to find out electric field intensity is very very far away from the dipole, then electric field intensity will become negligibly small and ultimately it will become to zero. Okay, next video we will discuss about what electric, we will find out numerically, mathematically, electric field intensity at different points of a electric dipole.